Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to be importing and linking a Revit file into 3ds Max and this 3ds Max file will be including all the imagery that we've got, the models from the Google SketchUp warehouse for the North Melbourne site, so a greater urban site. So it'll just help us locate this in some sort of context, because Revit isn't very good at tying itself with some form of context whatsoever. As you can see, I mean, it just can't process Google SketchUp and the imports there. So the first thing to do, we go Revit, export that, and we are going to export it as an FBX file. So we'll just find a nice place to pop that. And we're just going to save over this, because I was just doing this before, so we'll save that, and we do want to replace it. Okay, so we'll go back into 3D Studio, and as you can see, I've got the North Melbourne site here with some contours. The terrain's not perfect and all the buildings aren't perfectly situated, but I didn't have the pleasure of using the glue tool and all those buildings, so you can imagine if I did, it'd look pretty similar. So we go into References and we're going into File Link Manager. I'm going to attach that Revit or that FBX file, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we'll attach this file. And this house is actually in Kensington, but since we don't have the models from the Google warehouse for the Kensington site, or we actually might, because it's pretty close, but I'm going to just locate it in a arbitrary spot just to show you how it's done. Alright, so this model comes in as on its own layer, and I'll just delete its sun materials because it just never renders quite right in Max. So we'll go ahead and delete all this just for the ease of file, so it doesn't get so clunky. Anyway, so you can't see it. It's pretty small. You probably can. Yep, there it is. And it's come in on its own layer. So I'll just highlight that layer so I can get it. And you can see it's just there. I'll show you in a minute. And so where I'm going to put this, just for the sake of the video, is in a small site in the next to these terraces. And it is a terrace, so you know, makes sense. And we have that strange roof form here, so that I'll just delete that because that was in our Revit file by accident. And we can't delete it because it's actually in the link reference, so we'll just forget about it. So we'll select that again, and we'll just try and get that to look up like it's fitting on the site. And I think it's might be quite high up. Alright. You might want to rotate it because that's the front porch and it's probably not accurate. Okay, so it was fairly painless. And so from here you can imagine how this might be useful for streetscape impressions or what have you. And also just because when we render this we can get a sense of scale in the street, and I'll just show you how it might look in render form. So we'll just go to standard camera and we'll see what that looks like. And I'll just move it up because I did notice that it was a bit out of place. Okay, so if we go to our camera view, let's see how that might render. It looks like something's in the way. Maybe we won't use a camera just for the moment, just to show you that it actually does work. I'll just go back to my perspective and I'll hit render. Okay, that looks like it's doing it more accurately. So there you go. It's not perfect, especially the buildings next to it aren't perfect, but it does give it a sense of context, and that's something that Revit can't do. And just as a last note, because we have referenced it as a link, we can go back into our Revit file and easily edit this and then upload it, reload it as the link. So say we want to delete that roof. I don't know why you want to do that, but you know, we'll do that just for the sake of the video. And we've got this file here. So I'll go ahead and export that again. And I'll write over that file and I'll press save, and it's yes. So now we can go back into 3D Studio and we'll go back into our references, we'll go File Link Manager. And you'll see next to files there's this red flag, and we want to reload that. That just means that the file's changed, so we say reload. And we don't want the light and daylight and cameras, so we'll just turn that off anyway. And so that'll just reload without the roof. And that's done it, and we've got a roofless terrace. Hope that was helpful. Catch you next time.